So I just watched this truly awful publicity stunt for Game of Thrones, and it's really sad to see this sort of thing. What it is that Maisie Williams went on the Jimmy Fallon show, and she tried to do some sort of April Fool's prank where she gave away when she died in a new series of Game of Thrones. And the whole episode of this prank is awful. The acting, the staging of it's just terrible. The reason it's terrible is because halfway through, Maisie Williams asks if the show is live. Then she's told it's not live. So why would she be bothered? She could just ask for the producers of the Jimmy Fallon show to delete the footage of what she said. Or her people with her agent or the people managing her, would ask for it to be deleted. And also the production company of Game of Thrones would say to Jimmy Fallon's show and ask him to delete it. Or they'll say, right, we're not going to have any more of our stars coming on your show. And that means Jimmy Fallon hasn't got the latest celebrities going on his show, which will hit his ratings. So it makes sense. If she did give away something by accident, it would make sense for them to delete it, and it would just be their word against the audience's. The only proof that it was said was by the audience. There'd be no video footage of it. And the whole prank is just ridiculous. It's sad and it's silly. But what's really frustrating is that Game of Thrones is meant to be this high prestige, well-made TV show. It doesn't need to stoop to this sort of terrible prank. The prank is completely staged beyond any limits. It's just ridiculous. It's terrible to watch. It's really cringeworthy to watch. And Jimmy Fallon is no actor. He can't act. He can't pull off a convincing prank to people. So it's just really embarrassing to watch. What I'm also going to bring up is this article just from yesterday, which involves Maisie Williams again, and it's based on the New Mutants. Now, you might have heard of this. This is a movie that's been made, and it's like an X-Men spin-off. Now, X-Men is one of the biggest franchises in the world now. I think it's made around somewhere in the region of $6 billion at the box office. And they've made this spin-off, and by all accounts, it looks like it's absolutely terrible, and they don't know what to do with it. It should have been released last summer, then they put the release back to February, and now they're saying it's going to be released in June. And what it is like some sort of horror film. All the trailer, all the images of it look terrible. And what they've tried to do is these low budget movies like Insidious. Now, Insidious cost around $10 million to make, and it made about $120 million at the box office. And the producer and director, he made about $50 million profit just from one movie. And some of the low budget horror movies can make absolute fortune in terms of profit, and it looks like they've tried to do that with X-Men. They've tried to cash in on the trend of these low budget horror movies like Insidious, and it's gone really bad. I mean, look at this photo. It looks awful. What the hell is that? That's not X-Men. It looks bad. Even if you like horror movies, it looks bad. Or even if you like X-Men, it looks bad. And that's why they don't know what to do with it. So let's say the budget is $50 million, and they're hoping it makes $300 million because it's got the X-Men name attached to it. They thought they were going to make a lot of money from it, but it's so bad. I mean, look at this image. It looks like a really terrible horror movie that's like, remember we had like Scream in the 1990s, and there was this flood of these rip-off Scream movies, and this is one of them. And it looks so bad that they don't know what to do with it. And it's just a real shame that the people behind X-Men thought they were trying to cash in. That's what they tried to do. They saw these low-budget horror movies like Insidious, and they thought, right, we've got X-Men, let's make a horror movie based on X-Men, and we'll cash in and we'll make $200-300 million profit. And because the movie, they didn't think about the story or the actual concept of the movie, it looks terrible. And it looks like it's not going to actually be released because there's talks of it now coming out in summer. So it's already 2 years old. So it's a real shame. But again, if they're going to try and cash in on exploit a trend, then it's not always going to work. But going back to this prank, it's really bad. I'll leave a link to it, but it's awful. What's frustrating is that all the questions are drawn towards this prank. So instead of asking important, interesting questions, all the questions lead up to this prank. It's so obvious. It's like, we'll set the prank up, we'll deliver the prank, then we'll demolish all the logic behind the prank because it's not live, and the footage can be deleted of her saying that she's going to be killed off in episode 2. It's just laughable, and it's really sad that they're going to do this with something like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones doesn't need and shouldn't need this sloppy, terrible, cheap publicity. That's not what Game of Thrones is about. So it's really frustrating that they would try to do that. I'm not a fan of Jimmy Fallon, and this just makes it worse for me. But I don't get it. When you watch it, it looks cringeworthy, horrible. But if you disagree, leave your comments below. If you watch this and you feel it was a great prank, again, leave your comments below. And if you look forward to New Mutants featuring Maisie Williams, again, leave your comments below. But to me, both this prank and the movie that Maisie Williams is going to be in just look terrible. And I'm not saying she's not a bad actress. It's just two things that haven't worked out for her. But again, let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe.